All right, Michael, thanks for taking some time to talk today. Been great to work with you and your team on this really important search. OES is such a wonderful community and so much going on, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, just tell viewers a bit about you, your background, and what drew you to the school.
Sure. Well, great to have the conversation, Gabe. I am Michael Spencer. I was at at a school on the East Coast for well, actually my whole life was spent on the East Coast, over 50 years until I moved out here to Portland, and I was on the East Coast in independent schools for 30 years. I started I started not even knowing that independent schools existed, and went to uh, an independent school in a summer program as an intern. And I was coaching, I was teaching, I was living on the campus, I was getting free meals, and I thought, wow, this is quite a gig. And so I started to fall into this lifestyle of working in independent schools and haven't looked back since. It's been absolutely wonderful. My family has lived with me in these independent schools. I've raised my kids. They've gone to independent schools. And I spent most of my time first as a classics teacher, then a humanities teacher, then a chaplain, a dean of chapel, then a dean of faculty, then an associate head of school, and all of that up to the point where I then came across the country to OES.
And you came across country and you met a wonderful school. And let's talk a little bit about it for people who have not been on the campus. It's a very unique campus. It's just a great community. It's just gorgeous, and so much culture and community. But just for those who haven't been there, talk a bit about what it's like and some of the unique aspects of the school.
Sure. Yeah, OES is nestled, so it's in Portland, but it's nestled sort of in the outskirts of Portland down this long road. You pass through uh, wetlands and woods, and there's a golf course on the other side of the road, and you drive to the end and you reach this beautiful campus. And you start with a lower school on the bottom of this hill, and you keep climbing up as the students do to get to the top of the hill where the upper school is. And it's this beautiful campus with these old growth trees. It actually used to be an equestrian center, so it used to be a place for horses. And so it was a large area and really beautifully developed into the school that we know today.
And let's talk about the school of today and where it's headed. And I think there's some exciting initiatives and a vision and some strategy that are in motion. Um, and just talk a little bit about what is happening, what's going to be happening, maybe at a sort of, campus macro level that, a CFO might be excited to support and contribute to.
Yeah, we have spent about 2 years building a strategic plan, refining the mission of the school, coming up with our vision for the future. So all of that is now launched, and that was shared last spring. And so we're in the implementation phase, year one of this strategic plan, and it's focusing on three pathways that have to do with excellence and character and community. And those are three important values for us as a school. And so at this phase of this strategic planning process, the implementation process, we're moving into the finalization of a campus plan that will guide the future. It is the campus vision plan is the strategic plan in buildings and in the physical campus of Oregon Episcopal School. And so the CFO will have a huge part to play in helping us to bring that vision to life and to reality. The other piece is that we're beginning a feasibility study as we look to a future support, philanthropic support to make this vision a reality. The CFO obviously will have a huge role to play in moving that forward. So at this time in the history of Oregon Episcopal School. It's a very exciting time. It's dynamic, and I'm looking for a dynamic partner to be a thought partner with me strategically as we move this strategic plan forward.
Oh, that's very exciting. And you have other great thought partners on your cabinet team. We won't go through, one by one, but just talk a little bit about, the team culture and really what you're looking for to as someone who can work with some amazing leaders who are going to be also involved in, whether it's the campaign, whether it's the campus, the program. A lot of exciting things. There's some great veterans. There's some new eyes. Just as you see the CFO being a part of that cabinet, a little bit about that culture and the community of your executive team.
Yeah, let me give you a. We've talked about this previously before, Gabe, but I was a rower in college. I coached rowing for 30 years. Uh, Leading a school is like putting that rowing team together, right? And we're going to be rowing together in the same boat. And to row together in the same boat and to be successful, you need to match the rhythm. You need to pull together and you need to help that boat fly through the water. And so we've really worked intentionally over the past few years to put together a dynamic team that is going to be rowing together and helping us to move this institution forward to achieve these goals that are really helping us to help OES become the best next version of itself, right? And so for me, there's 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 two approaches that really influence my thinking around leadership. One is, and you may be familiar with this book, Good to Great, that Jim Collins wrote a number of years ago. But in that book, he talks about the importance of putting together disciplined people, so getting the right people in the right seats in the boat, and then really being clear with disciplined thought about what your plan is for the future. That's our strategic plan, the disciplined thought. And then once you have disciplined people and disciplined thought, then you can start to move forward with disciplined action, the implementation. And so that's one resource that's influenced my thinking. And the other is Lencioni's work around the first team. So as we think about our admin team, it's the first team for OES. And so having this team together where we're working together to move forward the vision of the school, that is going to be critical as we achieve these goals. And we've got some pretty key strategic thought partners that we've assembled over the past 2.5 years who are now part of this team, and really strong individuals who have been part of this team prior, who bring an institutional knowledge that is really helping us to guide this work forward. So I'm really excited about the team that we have assembled and looking forward to a CFO who will come into that team and help us to move forward even more.
That's awesome. Well, final question, and just thinking about moving forward, going way back in time when you first discovered independent schools, and you said, "Hey, it's a great little world, and free meal. I love that." But if you think back to what drew Michael Spencer into independent schools, and just sort of why this culture has been a part of you and this ecosystem for your almost entire professional career, just what either hooked you in, or why is this the right vertical or industry, if you will, for you? Just for somebody maybe who hasn't worked in independent schools before, to understand, like, wow, this is what has kept you fueled and excited for, this many years of your career.
Well, I think what drew me into independent schools is also what drew me to OES, and that
Hmm.
is the power of community, right? So the community that I felt um, when I first went to that independent school in the summer as an intern 40 years ago, uh, that feeling, I remember that feeling, and that's the same feeling that I had when I came out here to Oregon on my visit to OES
Hmm.
and really experienced this strong power of community. Um, and it's not just that; it's a community with intention, and it's an educational community, right? And when you're part of an educational community, you're literally shaping the future. And at this point in time, I think that's a pretty incredible and necessary vocation to shape the future. And we're able to do that within our schools and to allocate the resources intentionally, thoughtfully to help move the mission forward. And we have a pretty incredible mission. And it's about helping to make the world just a little bit better in the way that we can do that, right? Our mission is to educate students to realize their power for good as engaged citizens of the world, right? It's that work of doing the repair of the world and doing our best to tend the little piece of the world that we have. That's what we're trying to impart in our students. That's the mission of the school. I always go back to one of my favorite quotes is by the fourth bishop of New Hampshire, John Dallas, who actually started as a school chaplain. And he had this great line. He said, a good school shows the world what goodness is. It's more than cheering at a ball game. It has a holy purpose for truth, for honesty, for helping people. And at the end of the day, that's what school should be about. That's what we're about. It's educating these students so that they can help people and make the world just a little bit better. So that's why I'm at an independent
Well,
school.
well, I can tell you chose the right industry for you, and it really speaks true, and I can just hear it in your words. And we're looking forward to helping you find someone else in the finance seat who can help bring that mission to life through that lens. So appreciate your time today, and thanks so much. I look forward to working with you in the rest of the search.
Great. Thanks very much, Kate.